It's that time again. It's Prime.
And it's Nate. Let's get it.
Relax and get loose while I put you up on game. The Figure Booth with Josh and Nate. This that podcast for those in the know. Batman vs. Iron Man. How would it go? We talking one of a kind. Collectibles. Mezco toys are respectable. It's unacceptable if it's not in the packaging. Nate don't take pics if you ain't rapping it. Nate's dirty tricks are always happening. But damn it, man, don't you be stressing. Round here we believe in plastic confessions. We trying to figure out the figures that's gonna stand the test of time. That G.I. Joe handmade hit me in the spine. There's perfection in the way that these toys are made. But I also wanna know, do I pick Wade or Slade? So this is where I come to kick it with the guys. The Figure Booth. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Hello, and welcome. You have made it to another episode. We made it. Hey, yo.
Yes, we're back. Back on the tube. I don't know what I was going to say, but I said tube.
What on El Tubo? Flip the switch and crank the tubo. Episode number
96.
We're getting there. We're getting closer to that. Magic number.
Slowly but surely getting to 100.
Man,
trying to crank these out as fast as we can, people. But me and Prime
are we though?
We're busy guys.
Yeah, I'm all. Don't say we're trying to crank them out as fast as we can, because I think every time we say that, we'll go even slower.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, "Merry Christmas, y'all!" Episode 100.
God, that would be awful. It's like less than one a month from now.
No, we can't do
but
it.
It does feel good to be back. You know, did a live recently talking about some new figures.
Yep.
Me and Prime, figured it was time to get together and do another episode. And this week, we're talking about the Honeymoon Phase, which is
familiar. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody gave us the idea. It was an original idea.
It was our own original idea. Yes, original.
Yeah. But, I think we all go through a honeymoon phase, whether it's in collecting or with your new squeeze.
Or your old squeeze. Hey-o.
Or your old squeeze. Oh, whoa. With the new squeeze.
Yeah. Sometimes the old squeeze becomes the new squeeze, and then they go back to being the old squeeze.
We talked about this a little bit, like with new collectors, I think, go through the honeymoon phase a lot when they get into toy collecting.
Yeah, for sure.
But then, even seasoned collectors get into the honeymoon phase. And that's like falling in love with a new figure line or a certain type of figures. All of a sudden, you're just crazy about it. You start pre-ordering a whole bunch of stuff. Got this like rush of emotions. You're like, oh, yeah, I got all these new figures and I'm unboxing them. Yeah, you can see Prime's in a honeymoon phase with the Joes right now.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you just get like real crazy about one line of figures.
Yeah.
And sometimes that love continues. Yeah. Sometimes it starts to fade away a little bit.
Yeah.
The honeymoon phase of you being so excited about that line starts to go away, either because maybe you're just not as into it as you thought, or you've gotten a few of them and you don't like them like you thought you would, or you've shifted your focus into something else. Whatever the reason is, we're kind of just talking about that honeymoon phase that everybody kind of goes through. Have you gone through a honeymoon phase recently, Prime, where you got really into a line and then you kind of just fell out of it a little bit?
Oh, for sure. No, and that's that you kind of took the question out of my head. I felt like we went through it with Mezco. I think when we first started the podcast, both of us were really heavily into Mezco. Like everything, like we had our decoder rings on, we would wear them. I was always sporting the black hat, had my Mezco shirt on. Like we're all about the Mezco. And then it seems like everybody jumped on the Mezco train, which was great. We're like, yeah, let's ride this train out. And then and that's the kind of thing, like what takes you out of the honeymoon phase? For me, it was like, for example, specifically talking Mezco, it was like all the pre-orders that they were consistently dropping, and then I was not seeing any product for like months,
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of kills the momentum. Storm Collectibles is another company. I was like super honeymoon phase because they were doing arcade game lines that I was like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, everything that I grew up with, and I was so pumped. But they release them at they're slower at releasing figures than we are with episodes. Hello, like what's going on there? And it doesn't give me enough joy to enjoy the line, because I'm like, great, like when they announced Dark Stalkers, I was super excited. King of Fighters, yeah, but then I was like, I only have one character from that line, or you know I only have I've had so many ninjas from Mortal Kombat. They're like, what about the rest of the characters? So by the time they get to it, I'm like, I'm kind of over it. Like, you guys were yesterday's news. Not to say that their product isn't good, it's great, but it's like I need it. I need it a little bit quicker than a couple figures a year.
Yeah. No, I think that can play a part into it, definitely, because you get. And I remember even with Storm, I went through the same. When I started seeing them do the Mortal Kombat figures, I was all about it.
Right.
Like, oh shit, I'm getting Mortal Kombat. I think it was one of the first companies we started seeing doing it, other than McFarlane. Wasn't into the McFarlane stuff. But the fact that we started getting like video game characters from a company like Storm, which I thought their quality was great. They make really, good figures. But to your point, I got, Scorpion. I got a Sub-Zero. They released another Scorpion. They released another Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
I think they released a third Sub-Zero. I was like, okay, can we get some more stuff? Then they started doing like Reptile and some of the other ninjas.
Smoke.
Noob Saibot. Yeah. Smoke. Exactly.
Yeah.
Some of the SDCC stuff. But then you start realizing like that it's just the same figure in different paint schemes. It's not like a new innovation from the company. Nowadays, they've come a long way, but it took so long to get to that point where they're doing like Shao Kahn and Goro and Baraka and all those awesome characters that they're doing now, that by the time they got there, I'd kind of already lost interest in collecting them.
Well, yeah. I mean, a great example, like Jada Toys just came onto the scene, which feels like relatively new, and they're killing it. Everyone's in love with them. Everyone's in a honeymoon phase with Jada Toys. Everything from their Street Fighter figs to their Mega Man figs. Like, right now, M. Bison and Dalsim is like super. Everyone's after them, right?
You see them everywhere, all over story posts.
Everywhere. And with Storm Collectibles, like they announced Fei Long and Baraka, but it's like they're not going to be out till the end of the year, if that. I got them pre-ordered, but I'm like, do I like by the time I get them? I was excited when they got announced, but by the time I get them, like, am I even gonna want them?
Yeah. Well, plus there's the price difference, right? Like Jada Toys, you're spending $25, and everybody seems to be really happy with those figures. Yep. And with Storm, you're spending like $80, $90.
Yeah,
$90 to $100 now. And they're great. Like the quality's there for sure, but is it really worth the extra $75 that you're going to spend to get the Storm over the Jada? And the Jada seems to be producing very quickly. We got Ryu, Ken, Fei Long. I think there's a Chun-Li out there, M. Bison, Dalsim. And I remember starting to talk about or starting to see those released maybe like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Or more. So within that amount of time, you've already got like 6 or 7 figures.
A good roster. So, and that I think will kill or make the honeymoon phase for a collector. And especially, again, we've talked about if you're a novice, like it's so easy to get caught up where you just you're pivoting constantly and trying to collect everything as much as you can. Where I think if you're a seasoned collector, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna pump the brakes. Like I've completely pumped the brakes with Storm Collectibles, even though I have those 2 pre-orders. But a lot of times I'm like, gosh, I just cancel these. I'm like, you know what? I'm probably never gonna see them, so I'm not worried about it. Like I'm just gonna let them sit there, and then who knows? I might come full circle, and if not, at the very last minute, I've done it with other Storms where right before they ship out, I'm like, I don't want them anymore, and I'll just cancel it. Like I'm over it,
Well, yeah, like you're talking about new collectors. I think they definitely go through that honeymoon phase, and I think part of that is lack of education. Or you don't really know what you want, or what kind of figures you want. So there's like this sense of discovery, and you're exploring different genres, different brands, different kinds of toys. You're trying to expand your knowledge. You're trying to kind of expand your understanding of the hobby. You got this like initial enthusiasm where you're really excited. You got a lot of passion. You're investing a lot of time, a lot of money into building and growing your collection like as fast as you can, seeking out rare items maybe that you missed. You start to talk about, those toys in the toy community. And then over time, as you start to collect, you eventually get like a more balanced, maybe a more long-term sustainable approach to toy collecting.
So like you build a stamina for collecting.
Exactly.
You build a stamina, the palette is there. You're like, okay, I know what I kind of like. And you also, the crazy thing is, here's the wild thing is, going into first starting to collecting, you have that price shock of everything. Like if you're a Legends collector and you are introduced into collecting as a Legends collector, you're like, okay, $25. But for us that have been in the collecting Legends for a longer time, like I used to pay $8 for my Legends when Toy Biz would do. So $25, I'm like, and now they don't really come with much. Yes, the articulations, progressed, and the paint quality and all this other stuff that they've invested into the product, it has reached, I think, our expectations. But at the same time, we've given up some accessories, and we've given up other things. But I think, again, back to my point, as a novice, you get that sticker shock where you start getting into other lines like Storm or Mezco or even Hot Toys. I've seen some Legend collectors go from Legends to Hot Toys, and they're just like, they went from spending $26 to like $350 because it's a Spider-Man or whatnot. That's when sometimes like you're too much, and you get burnt out so quickly, and you're seeing a lot of fallouts where they're just like, they spent all this money acquiring like 2 or 3 waves, and then you see these fire sales happening. Lately, I've been seeing a bunch of people just posting like large lots of collections, whether it be Legends or Joe's or Mezcos. I've been seeing a ton of Mezcos going up for sale, which is, it's kind of crazy. Again, we go through these phases, and I guess the best piece of advice I could give anyone that's starting out is like, be patient with yourself and help yourself build that stamina, because you do have to, like, even myself, like I didn't pre-order the TMNT Mezco turtles, but seeing all the pictures, everyone's loving them, I'm just like, I'm biting down my lip. I'm like, oh, don't pay secondary market. Or there has been opportunities that some people have jumped on them from other sites, and I was like, nope, don't do it. Like, I know I don't want them. I have others. Like, you have to be able to have that stamina to be like, no, because for some crazy reason, I'm like going hardcore on the Joes right now. So I'm like, the Joes satisfied me right now. It's they're a great figure. So I'm like, this is my honeymoon phase right now, and I just gotta enjoy it. That's the hardest part. That's the other part of the stamina part of being able to stay in your lane and not jumping ships so quickly because you're influenced by your own circle, which is the toy community.
Yes.
And it's a good I think influence, that we influence each other like that. But having the stamina and the discipline to not splurge, because then it's going to kick yourself in the butt. Like, I have 2 Mezcos that are about to process, and I've been waiting. It's the Superman, and then the Iron Man. I'm drawing a blank on that, but it's the red and silver one. They're both about to start processing from Entertainment
Centurion.
Yeah, the Centurion. And I'm like, I'm stoked. I've been waiting for those for so long, and I've seen pics about the Superman, so I'm pumped. I am pumped for those to come through. And that goes back to it, just stamina and discipline. It's the craziest thing. Once you develop that, you become a really good seasoned collector, because then you do have those moments of impulse. And you'll see when we go through our plastic confessions, I had a couple impulse buys, and doesn't even make sense. They don't even fall within my collection, but I'm like, you know what, I know later I'm going to kick myself in the butt for not picking it up, because who knows?
Yeah.
There could be a fellow collector that needs it down the road, and maybe I can use it as trade bait, or maybe I can help out a fellow collector that's looking for it, because it's not something I direly need, but I know it's like a hot commodity right now.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with a lot of what Prime's talking about. And I think it's kind of like, you're playing a game and it's an RPG and you're building your skill set over time. You're kind of like improving your collecting know-how and your knowledge of figures, and what brands do you like, what brands do you not like. And the only way you know that is by picking up stuff and kind of learning. Okay, I don't like that anymore. Or, you just kind of learn, you start to sort of have more of a focus, and you get the blinders on of like, okay, I don't want this, I want that. But the FOMO, like you're talking about, plays a big part into it, because you see people talking about stuff. You see everybody posting about it. You don't want to miss out. Like Prime's talking about the turtles. He doesn't really want the turtles, but I think the FOMO is what's sort of, kind of toy with him a little bit. Like, oh, you sure you don't want to miss out on these? But yeah, you start to like develop that deeper appreciation for quality, I think, over quantity. And so with that, you start to buy less, appreciate what you have. You start making these personal goals, like we're talking about, have like a collecting goal for yourself, because if you don't, that honeymoon phase gets out of control, I think, sometimes. So you got to have like a goal. What is it that you want your collection to be? What kind of stuff do you want to focus on? And that might change over time, which is awesome. But you got to have some kind of priority, some kind of game plan that you're sort of like beating your drums to. And then you got to manage those expectations, manage your budgets, manage your storage space. That's another thing that new collectors and people that are doing the honeymoon stuff, they may have a bunch of new storage space, or they don't have a whole lot of collections, so they've got a lot of room to build. But you'd be surprised how fast that starts to build up over time. Yeah. And what me and Prime are always talking about on the show, like, I got to manage my storage now. That's part of the reason why I start to sell stuff, because I go out and I look at my storage and it's just boxes and boxes, and I'm like, shit, I got too much crap. Yeah, it's bad.
I'm a box hater. I hate boxes now. That's it. And it helps, it helps. Again, it helps going. Like you said about the RPG example, that metaphor of just building upon your skill as a collector. And you get to meet these other really cool collectors. You get a lot of tips and tricks, even when it comes to selling. So I think the last episode we recorded, I was talking about how there was another guy that sells a handful of loose legends, and he puts them in these little clear gift boxes, and he has them all, and they're the right size that you can fit a figure with all its accessories, and he has them all standing up and stuff like that. And I was like, man, that's really cool. So the last show that I did the same thing, and I told him, like, hey, that's a great tip. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna borrow that.
Nice.
It's much more easier, and it's visually pleasing and aesthetically pleasing to get people to come to the booth, because they see all the loose figures kind of lined up and the sticker prices are on there. So instead of digging through a bin or like in baggies and stuff, whatnot, I had all these little, and it was so much easier for like them to just be like, okay. And I kind of like, I sold some of my army builders. I had like some chameleons. I went crazy, and I had like almost close to a dozen of them. So I put them up. So I lined them all up. Anything that was army building, I just put that same character like in a little line, almost like it, you're writing a story, right? So I had it all organized, and it was crazy because the collectors would come up, and it made it so much more easier for them to just pick up, the figure, and made the transaction much easier. But it is that it's that sense of like relief that, okay, cool, I'm making some space, because back to your point, seeing the boxes and boxes of stuff in storage, or seeing the bins and bins of figures, it's like, yeah, I love the collection I've built, but then like, when is enough? When do I reach that point? Yeah. If I never sell, like, what's my ultimate goal? And for some of us, it's really hard to get in a habit of letting go, whether it's going to be a purge, you take the L, or you resell, you're constantly reselling, like whatever motivates you. It's really good to like get in the habit of just purging through your collection and finding those habits. So that gives me the opportunity to like refocus. I let go of a bunch of legends that were sitting in bins. I put them in these little clear gift boxes, and it gives me like perspective too. As I'm going through my collection, I'm like, man, I forget I had like all these suits. But I'm not really into like the suited legends anymore. And they've come out with new ones. And now there's soft good ones, and now there's Mezco with suits like Prune Face and Dick Tracy. Like now, like that's where I can see where I was at before. And now I can see where my collection is at now. So it was much easier for me to let go of all these suits and, and whatnot. So I was like packaging them up and stuff. And it's so funny that a lot of times the one thing you don't think that's going to sell ends up selling. And it's so fun because I had all these little plastic storage containers of Build-A-Figure parts. Like I want to say I had like three little totes Build-A-Figure parts, probably 40 pieces. And I'm like, these are just odd bits and ends. I'm like, how the hell am I going to get rid of them? So I just brought them with me. Last minute, last second decision. I brought them with me, threw them all out there, and I had all the loose figures lined up, and I had like this bin of just loose bath parts. This collector comes by and he's like, "Hey, how much do you want for these?" And I was like, "Like bath parts. What do you price them at? $2, $5?" I'm like, I don't know, anywhere from $2 to $5. Because if it's a chest piece, is that $5? Is it an arm? It's $2. And then he's like, "What if I take them all?" And I was like, "Well, if you take them all," and in my head, I'm like, I just want to get rid of them, right? So I was like, all right, let's just do $2. So he's like, all right. So he starts counting them up, man. Like I think it ended up coming out to $40, maybe $50. And then he bought some loose figures. And he's like, "What if I buy all this? Like, could you give me a deal?" I'm like, you know what? I want to get rid of it. I could care less how much I make. So we worked out a deal, but he cleared out these three small bins. They weren't huge. They were like, it was like a TV dinner size bins, and they were probably about 6 inches deep, and they were full of just arms and legs. And to me, that was a huge relief. Like to me, that was a win. I could care less how much he was really paying for it, but he took them all, and I was like, that's crazy. I never would have thought I was going to sell these because I had been hanging on to them for years. Like we're talking like Abomination Bath, Giant Man Bath, like, and it was the Giant Man from MCU. Like I had a bunch of weird, So I guess my biggest point is like learning to go through your collection and constantly telling yourself like what is the end goal? Because a lot of us, like I went through that where it was like bins and bins. I'm like, I hate that. I want to get rid of as many bins as I can, and I'm using the photo cases to organize some of the collection that I can't display. But my main goal is, you guys can see I took down some shelves behind me that they used to be displayed my Super 7 collection and some Mescos and all that stuff. But I'm in the process of just like reorganizing this so I can display the majority of my collection. And if I can't, that is a sign to me like, hey, I just need to either get rid of it or sell it or somehow like upgrade or not buy anything for a while until I can somehow get rid of it some way or another, gift it or something, but I think it's going to be a good way of keeping a good pulse check on my collection so it doesn't get out of hand, because you guys will see once we get to my plastic confession, it's like I'm going to need a bigger room. We're going to need a bigger boat.
Getting out of hand. Maybe that
was like a long rant.
No, it's good. It's all good info. And maybe that bath guy was in his honeymoon phase of baths. I'm going to build all the baths. So he's buying all of them from you.
He looked like a guy. He was an older gentleman, and he looked like a guy that he just does like these crazy creations. Like he does like,
that's cool.
You see some guys on YouTube
Customizer.
that like, like he just he creates molds and he makes like these, very unique one piece vinyl. Like I don't know. He looked like he was just into like he was like a Frankenstein type of collector where they like odd bits and ends.
Yeah, and I think talking about honeymoon phases, like some that I remember, definitely, Mezco's kind of been like one of those like long-term loves of mine. And I guess at the beginning it was more of a honeymoon because I would literally get anything that they would drop. It's like new pre-order, sure I got it. New pre-order, sure I got it. Nowadays I'm much more selective, but it's still one of my favorite lines that I collect. So that's kind of been like one of those honeymoon phases that developed into a long-term love that I'm trying to manage.
For sure.
Four Horsemen stuff. I think went through a honeymoon phase with Four Horsemen when I got into Mythic Legions. I felt like I had so much ground to make up with that line that I started just getting a ton of stuff. I went to Legions Con. I got a lot of stuff. I went to Toylanta with my friend Cody. I got a lot of stuff there.
You got that tattoo?
And not that I don't. I got the the tramp stamp right on the back.
Oh, I was about to say that too.
The Four Horsemen logo. I got into Cosmic Legions, and I think kind of what was the light bell wake up moment is when I got an entire wave of Cosmic Legions in the mail. It was a huge box.
Yeah.
And it was 12, 14 figures in there, and I was like, oh shit, this is a lot at once, and I already have a lot that I haven't even appreciated yet. So it was that moment that I was like, all right, I need to take a little break. I need to back up. I still really like Four Horsemen stuff. I'm just slowing way down because I was getting rid of other things to collect Four Horsemen. And it's still a part of my shelf. I've still got figures like right there that I display. I still really like them, but I've sold off some stuff in the local toy shows. I've stopped pre-ordering all the new waves that are coming out because it's just too much. And I would definitely describe that as kind of a honeymoon phase. I went through like this rush of, this is fun. This is exciting. Let me learn everything I can to learn about it. And then now I've learned everything. I'm appreciating it. Let me pump the brakes a little bit. To Prime's point, I got to get a goal. Like, what is it that I'm trying to do here? What is it that I really want to collect? I think at my heart, I'm still like a comic guy. I still love DC, Marvel, Turtles. That's kind of my main jam. The mythic stuff's great because it satisfies like kind of the other itch, like fantasy, but I don't need to go as hard on it, because I can't collect everything. That was part of my concern of getting rid of stuff, going to toy shows. It's I've got too much. I got to start selling. And part of the reason is because I've been going so crazy on Mythic Legions. It's a whole other 2 boxes now that I'm storing. So I'll still be collecting that stuff. I don't want people to think like I'm totally out, but I definitely will admit that I went through a honeymoon phase with that.
Oh yeah.
And I'm starting to slow down now. So
and attending these toy shows, I know you both of us have been doing the toy shows on a more consistent basis. It helps really put everything into perspective because like I had this pretty good sized pile of, I already knew, I'm like, this stuff, I haven't even seen it. It's been in boxes, whatever. I'm gonna sell it, no doubt. Like I'm gonna put a price on it. You make me an offer, I'll probably take it, regardless of how ridiculous sometimes it could be. As if it comes close to retail, whatnot. But now that pile is like considerably really, really small, and it's making me like now I have to go back into the other bins that I thought, that's what I was going to display. Or unfortunately, when 2 of my detops broke, I had to take some of those figures and put them in bins, and then they've been sitting there. They haven't made it back to the shelves or anything like that. So like now I'm taking a look at certain teams and I've broken apart some teams, or I have like 3 versions of Fantastic Four, and it's like the Walgreens exclusive, I have the retro, and then I have the Mezco. I'm like, do I really need 3? I'm like, no, one of them has to go, or 2 of them have to go. I love the Mezco ones, so the other 2 are gonna go. And I was like, damn, I never thought I was gonna be selling these guys. I sold some chunk of my X-Men team, and just I started going through my legends, and I'm like, I think obviously that was like my bread and butter, so I have more legends than anything. But now, like, it's starting to even now, it's like I have almost just as much legends as I have Mezcos. And I'm like, well, the next one that's gonna start going on the chopping block is gonna be some of my Mezcos. And I've sold a couple of those. I sold some of my doubles, and I've told you this too. So it's crazy again. Like they don't sell that crazy at toy shows, but every once in a while you'll get somebody that may not be a Mezco fan, but they like the Keaton. I sold my extra Keaton for the retail because I was just like whatever. But the guy was a big Batman fan. He was just like, so I had to kind of explain to him, and it was funny. I pulled up someone's review, and I was like, yeah, see, this is, and he's like, yeah, I'll take it. So
and I think that kind of what you're talking about, sometimes it depends on what is available at the show. Are you the only Mezco guy? Are there a lot of different Mezco guys? Because like when I go to the toy show, I'm probably one of the few. There's a couple other guys there that will sell some Mezcos, but I'm one of the few that has Mezcos available, or like Mofex, things like that. And I usually get pretty good success with Mezco figures. I don't sell everything, but there's people that'll come just because it's like, I was looking for Mezco.
That's nice.
But yeah, it's pricier. So you got to look for somebody that knows what it is that they're buying and is willing to spend the money for it, because you'll show them, it's going to be $90. You're like, $90? What? Why is that? People that don't know what it is, I have to. I kind of have to show them a figure. I'm like, this is what it is. This is fabric goods. This isn't like your normal legend. It's
Kenner or your Playmates Kenner from '87.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like the Kenner Dark Knight Returns collection, that kind of stuff. But I can't stress enough about those toy shows for guys that are struggling with those collections or have a hard time selling stuff online, like on Instagram. I'll sell stuff, and I'll list them. You guys probably seen it lately. I'll list 8 things. I'll maybe sell 2 of them on Instagram. It's very far and few between. And I think because you're dealing with a more seasoned audience who has, he's got one of them right there, Zoom. They've seen that stuff before. They know the availability of that stuff's a bit easier to come by because we have all these Discords we're part of, Facebook groups. We know people in the Instagram community. When you get into local shows, people don't always have that. So when they see the things that are available, they're like, oh, I'm going to grab it while I can. So kind of, I didn't mean to make that diversion, but it just made me want to think about it.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great resource, man. I love to have it. There's another one coming up in May, which I won't go to this one, but I am going to go to the one after that. And I've been, I've been trying to make it more regular because there's people now that will look for me there, which is awesome.
No, it's to me, it's same thing. Like people have looked for me because again, I bring not only the legends, but like some Mafex. I sold most of my Yamaguchi that were doubled or that I just had boxed up, and maybe I took them out and I put them back in there. But I'm leaning more preferably to sell the era at those shows rather than dealing with IG or social media. Like I don't even want to deal with that. I'm like, nope, because I've gone through this whole like send me pictures, and I'm sending pictures, and then like they never get back to me. And it's like great,
I spent
like 2 hours. Yeah, so forget it. So yeah, I'd rather deal with the ghosting straight face to face. You can ask me a bunch of questions, just walk away from my table, and I'll be like, take one of these.
Yeah, it is a much easier experience, and like you sell it and it's gone. There's no shipping.
Yep.
There's no waiting for somebody to pay you. Hey, I'll get it to you on Friday, kind of thing. It's like no. Just give me the money and walk away.
Give me that green in my hand. Great. Show me the money. Yeah, love it.
But yeah, if you guys listening, if you've gone through those honeymoon phases and you're looking for ways to get rid of stuff that maybe you don't care about, rather than holding on to it for eternity, start to sell it. Let it go. And you don't always have to get top dollar. You're going to sell more stuff at a good price than you will trying to hold out for like making $20.
Yeah.
Because if you're dealing with seasoned collectors, they know what this stuff's worth. They know what's a good price, what's a bad price.
For sure.
They're not just going to give you the money because it's there. They want a good deal too. So that's the best way I've found to sell stuff is just give a good deal, something that's below. Don't use eBay as your guide. eBay is full of fees. People are pricing that stuff up like another 20% because of all the fees. So take that into consideration and go a little bit lower.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know what your honeymoon phase was like down below in the comments. Sure.
Yeah.
Did you go through a honeymoon phase? If so, or are you in a honeymoon phase? Man, we always love reading those comments. So yeah, let us know your thoughts. What did you like? What you didn't like? What worked well for you? How did you get over your honeymoon phase? Or maybe you're still in it. What's your jam right now? What are you really digging into? I always love to go back and check out what you guys have to say.
Yeah, it's always different for everyone. That everybody has some kind of unique honeymoon phase, and they're going through it right now. And the people that are going through right now are probably the ones that won't admit they're going through a honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
And, I see people like, I'm done with this. I'm done with that. Don't even say that. Just maybe back away for a little while. Because then everybody we're going to remember like, oh, well, Prime said he's done with Mafex. And
that was one of my honeymoon phases.
Yeah. Foodie mini brands. Yeah. My wife is collecting those like crazy. I think she went through a honeymoon phase with those minis because she got a ton of them. We all go through it. It's natural part of collecting. It's just how you manage it over time. That's what is important because you can't be in the honeymoon phase forever. You got to have some kind of sustained love and manage that in a way that's healthy. Because if you're continually just going at the pace of honeymoon,
moderation,
you're gonna be going overboard real quick. So yeah, fun topic. Let us know what you guys think. Like Prime said, leave us a comment below. What was your honeymoon phase? Or what are you going through now that you consider a honeymoon phase? Is it Jada Toys?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. We'll get into our next segment.
We might see some. It's like Brandy is my honeymoon phase. I'm like, whoa, hey, oh. we were talking about action figures, action lines.
Sure. Honeymoon phase that turned into a long-term commitment. I married that girl, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm in my honeymoon right now.
We talked about a few on Motivation Monday Live, but there's still a lot of stuff out there that we have not covered. So we'll kind of go through these quickly.
Yeah.
We got the Mafex Soldier Boy. I think if I would have collected more of the Mafex, the boy stuff, I'd be more interested in this. Love the show.
And again,
I don't know if I really want the figures.
Yeah. How long ago was season 2?
It was a while ago.
Yeah. I'm like, now
And
they're
what
coming
is
out.
it
Like,
with
if they would have
this?
dropped the figures as the season 2 came out, like, I don't know what's up with that face call, but if they would have dropped the figures, like, and you don't have to do it at the same time, but maybe like a month after or a month before. That way I can sit there like the 8-year-old Prime and have my Mayfix Soldier
Yeah.
Boy as I'm watching The Boys. Like, that's what we all love.
Yeah, he's fondling his Soldier Boy while he's on the screen. You know,
Listening to
that's
Soldier
what
Boy,
makes the
watching
complete
Soldier Boy.
experience. Yeah. I mean, this
Superman,
is a cool looking figure. That teeth face looks very strange to me. I don't know about that.
That's supposed to be a helmet, right? It looks like it's painted on.
It does. Yeah.
So it
This
looks like
here.
he's
It
like
does kind of
he
look
has like
like
face.
it's
It looks like he
painted.
has face paint. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, he's
Yeah.
giving me like gold dust vibes right now.
It's a bit shinier than I remember on the show. Maybe it's the lighting thing, but I don't remember being
I don't
that
know.
shiny
He looks
on the show.
very like sparkly. I don't know.
And there's definitely some. It scares me that how detailed this is because I don't know if the paint's going to come out that clean. You know, he's got a soldier or a shield that is all scarred up. I think he gets attacked by. He has a fight with Homelander at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
he comes with
I
the
like the
helmet.
flask.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is probably just an extra accessory, but it's not the one that actually goes on his head.
No.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Knife, microphone, flask, cool accessories. Staying on the boys' theme, there is the Deep. Talk about a deep cut. This is definitely one of those characters that wouldn't, even if I collected the line, I don't know if I would consider this because he's just not really in the show much. And when he is in the show, he's kind of like the butt of a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're really into the boys, maybe this does it for you.
That's so funny. Does he come with an octopus?
I know. It's just I was like, let me get the accessories because he should come with an octopus.
Yeah. I mean, I can already see a lot of good, talented artists out there doing some funny pictures with him because he's the comedy relief. But yeah, he comes with like that's a cool accessory, the clippers, and then a can. Come on, you know we all wanted an octopus.
Yeah, the octopus not being there is a huge miss for sure. And then the clippers where he shaves his hair.
Yeah, he does the Britney moment.
Yeah, just very very specific scene to include that. I don't know.
For a minute there, I thought he was combing his hair back. I thought he was combing his hair back. Like, and then I saw it was clippers.
It's all slicked back.
Yeah.
I mean, at $89 though, it's just that's a lot to ask for.
Give me the octopus.
Yeah, without the octopus, it's a no-go. Joe's, there's a lot of Joe's up right now for pre-order. Some of the retro stuff.
Give me the Joe's.
I think these went live this week, and these look to be, well, at least one of them sold pretty fast.
No, that's what I wanted.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm sure there'll be other retailers that have him though.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you'll find these at Ross though.
No, I'm not waiting for Ross for these. The retro, I don't mind paying the retail price.
The packaging does look so good though.
Oh, it's great. And the backing, like many others have said, it's so much better. It's a huge improvement. I have Baroness, and man, that's as thin as like tissue paper. It's like I'm scared to even put it up on the wall. I'm gonna have to reinforce it with something. I didn't open her just for that reason, but the Duke I just got, killer. They did a way better job on the backing. Like I want to get Beachhead here.
Beachhead looks really cool.
Yeah,
so the cards were
packaging.
Thicker cardboard,
way thicker.
So it feels a bit more sturdy.
Yeah,
that makes a difference for sure. Yeah, Beachhead's awesome. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the first Beachhead they gave us, right? This is just the classic kind of color.
Yeah, it's a classic version.
Nice. You have any interest in Snow Serpent?
No, not really. It's too specific, and that I think that's what I love about Joe's. That they give you enough. There's so much out there. There's like desert dude, and there's snow serpent. Desert serpent, snow serpent, water serpent, like jungle serpent, tiger force. Like there's so many that you can just pick and choose. Like you don't have to get all of them. A lot of cool people do. Like if I happen to live somewhere where it snowed, I would definitely get them because then easy outdoor shots. But yeah, very little interest in anything Arctic or snow or whatever. That's specific to a specific environment. I'm like,
I was going to say the same thing. Living in Arizona, the last thing I want is a snow-specific figure because I'd have to go 3 hours north during the winter in order to get any kind of snow. Staying on the Joe's theme, there's also the Cobra Ferret ATV.
That was so killer. What do you think about the price? Figure? Like, it's $55. I don't know. I mean,
I think
I love the vehicle.
When you compare it to the Vamp, which was 100, 55 seems right for this.
Right.
If they're going to stay at that price point, I think 55 works.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the price is okay.
We were talking briefly before the show on whether or not these wheels are rubber or plastic. You can kind of see a seam line here, but it doesn't mean it's plastic. That could still be rubber.
Yeah, and what I mean by like the plastic really is like flexible. I don't want it to be that shiny plastic, that slippery, shiny, like Happy Meal toy plastic. It almost gives me the feel it's like that rubbery, like it may be plastic, but it has like a rubbery feel to it, or like almost like the bottom of a shoe type of texture to it. I don't know. Oh, see in that shot, see how shiny? That's that plastic. Ah, man.
I feel like in these shots, or in the previous ones we were looking at, like this one,
it's definitely
more shiny. Because in the other shots, whatever they're using as a dio here, I think is getting on the wheels.
Right.
And it's causing it to look less shiny.
Okay. And maybe that's all I gotta do, just weather them up a little bit.
Yeah, weather them up, or
or find some rubber tires from like an RC car and throw them on there.
There you go.
Yeah.
You could, for sure. Like the gas powered or the electric RC cars they have. They have tons of tires that you can buy, and it's just the tire itself.
Yeah. Pop it over there.
That's actually
I don't know. I really like it. I really like this. I'm debating on the fence whether do I grab one or do I grab two. Like you almost need a pair. Like how am I only going to have one ATV? Come on. Does that make sense?
You
guys let me know. One or two.
Everybody's going to tell you two.
All right, there it is. We're getting two.
Is that the honeymoon phase that Prime's going through with the ATV?
Like how can I do that shot? I can't. I'm not gonna be able to do that shot where they're giving each other like, I don't know, what are they saying? It's happy hour or what? Go Cobra?
Yeah.
What are they, I don't know.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his and hers.
Yeah.
And you can get two for the price of a Vamp.
Yeah.
And you have the Vamp, so that would be a cool scene. All of that together.
Oh, there it is. I'm sold. Maybe.
There it is.
I don't know. You guys let me know.
Let Prime know in the comments. 2 or 1 on the ATV.
Or 2. Yeah.
We've got Frank Frazetta Tigra. Oh. This looks pretty great.
Oh man, it's so awesome. I love Fire and Ice.
Yeah, they did the Dark Wolf figure.
Yeah.
Now they're adding Tigra to the line. She does look great. Looks like she's got some upper torso articulation, which is nice.
Yeah, she does.
All right, Prime, calm down.
Settle down, Prime.
It's a waifu. I think Mario would be getting just as excited.
Hey, the figure looks phenomenal, but this is where I have to hold back because I'm like, I didn't get Dark Wolf. I can't get Tigra.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, I don't know. Then I'm gonna have to wait for what's the last dude's name? I don't know. Like I need to complete the roster. I can't just have Dark Wolf and Tigra.
Right.
I'm excited
I don't know how easy it is to get Dark Wolf now, but I think if you're just gonna go after Tigra, might not be.
Yeah, I might. I have Conan though, so
she's gonna be alone.
No, I have Conan.
Oh, well.
Damn.
Okay.
And I pre-ordered
how much? Now we're gonna have to predict how much money is Prime gonna spend after this show. What's the total bill gonna be?
Guys, let me know. Should I get Tigra?
I do like how you can take the hair off. For the different types of hair, so you can swap them out between the two different. Yeah, you got the cat with a different head sculpt. Kitty. and some. It looks like maybe plastic or cloth goods.
Yeah, I
Not
think it's a
entirely
plastic,
sure
but
what the
it's like
fabric is,
that piece that goes over her shoulders.
Yeah, she does look great though. $70.
Yeah. The paint, I mean, the paint application on there looks killer.
I was going to see if they have Dark Wolf on here.
Oh,
Maybe not. Doesn't look like it.
And I saw 5K had a quick run of Dark Wolf, and I almost jumped on it, but I missed out.
Well, they don't have the figure on here. I'm probably in the wrong spot. So, but yeah, there's Tigra. She's coming soon. Pre-order's up now. So if you want her, this might be the best, probably the fastest way you're going to get it.
Yeah, for sure.
We talked about this on Monday Motivation. This already sold out on McFarlane like real fast.
And on Big Bag
Toy Store. 3 set of Captain Boomerang. Yeah, these are all sold out on Big Bag Toy Store. Penguin is really the only one I care about out of these 3.
Yeah.
Starfire. What I thought was interesting though, if you go to the website, you can see what the chases look like. So, for instance, Penguin comes with this alternate suit as the chase. So that's the platinum.
The Adam West version? What is that? Like the classic?
Yeah, it's kind of like the 66.
Oh, Superpowers. Version. It's a Superpowers one, right?
Oh, Superpowers. That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So people, it looks like people are buying up these cases just to get the platinum.
My God,
these are all gone too.
That's kind of lame. Like, part of me, I'm like, you know what? I hope they get stuck with those cases. That's lame. Like,
yeah.
I'm not a big enough Captain Boomerang fan that I want the variant. So if you bought a 6 case of, like, enjoy those.
Right. Yeah. You're going to have good luck getting rid of all the rest of those penguins.
Yeah.
You're going to have to sell them probably for a discount.
What's Starfire's variant?
I don't really know, to be honest with you.
I don't know her.
I don't know enough about Starfire to tell you what that is from. But
or no, what's her name?
Basically,
like, does she go by something else when she's like Darkfire or Dark Phoenix?
Well, let us know in the comment, guys. What is Starfire's alternate variant?
Yeah. I mean, we know
that wave.
That's cool.
Went live. Doesn't look like you're going to be able to get it from McFarlane. Then there's also this JLA wave, which has Plastic Man.
I just want Plastic Man,
which is pretty cool. I just want Plastic Man, but he's the BAF.
The BAF. Oh wait,
yeah. So you have to get all 4.
You'll be able to get them for like $20.
Yeah, if I find these at Ross, I'm gonna get this wave just for Plastic Man.
Oh, you know, you're gonna find those guys at Ross.
Don't really care about the rest of these.
The characters are cool. Like I don't mind. I just like if Target has a really crazy sale, buy one get the 3 free, then I would get them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't mind paying $20 for all 4. I'm not gonna pay $24.99 or whatever his new price is.
Yeah, these are, let's say 84. Well, they're originally 100. So yeah, I don't know. At least 30, almost $30
Yeah, they're
each.
$20. 20, 40, 60, 80. They're about $20 each. 22 and some change.
Looks like you get the whole wave. They're on sale, but this is also sold out on McFarlane. So a lot of stuff sold out on McFarlane. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
There is Street Sharks. So Mattel is making updated Street Shark figures, which I thought was pretty cool. Again, I don't think I'm going to be getting these, but definitely nostalgia overload. Seeing some Street Sharks hitting store shelves again. They look very similar to their previous counterparts. They're probably some updated articulation here. Look like they still have the
that's really
action.
Cool.
Yeah, where you push down his fin and his mouth opens. So that's pretty awesome, actually.
If they were to start doing or re-showing like the old shows, like if they were to start pumping that out, like that'd be cool. Something to get my kids into. I'm like, hey, watch Street Sharks, and then I could see myself buying these for them.
Yeah, I really like the promotional video for these. That was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Damn, 30th
so we got the Captain America, Marvel Legends Shield 3-pack. So
this
Army
is
Builder pack. It is. I actually still have some of these. of the.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's probably an updated body, but I have some of these Shield agents.
Yeah.
Different head sculpts, but definitely have some of those figures. And I'll stop here before we move on to other things. Animal Wars of the Kingdom Primal Series 2 has a Kickstarter going live, and they've far exceeded their goal, more than doubled it by now. So it looks like this is definitely getting funded, adding a whole bunch of different figures to the lineup. Reptile guys, the rabbit guys, some bigger brutes. Looks like you might get a rhino and an elephant at some point, which are the biggest ones. So yeah, if you're into the Animal Wars of the Kingdom, definitely go check these out. Looks like you can back it now and get early access to these. And they've already unlocked a lot of their goals, their stretch goals, because they're so far ahead of their funding goal right now. So if you jump on, you have access to the stretch goals too, which is pretty cool.
That Fox character gives me like Zootopia vibes. I was like, man, this is the Fox from Zootopia, like on roids.
Yeah.
I
got this bulldog guy. That's one of the unlocks.
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I have yet to see him in person, but I've been hearing lots of good stuff. Again, this is
a guy,
another line that I'm just like, I gotta hold off on because I'm not gonna have any space or funds available.
Yeah, at the toy show that I go to, there's a guy that had the whole first wave there. They're really cool. I was very tempted to grab them, but I held off because it's just another honeymoon phase I would have gotten into.
Yeah.
So I decided not to. Speaking of honeymoon phases, Prime, what's your plastic confession?
Well, buckle up. This might be a long plastic confession because, man, I'll start with the non-honeymoon phase stuff and the things that I just came across. Let's call it the toy gods threw some luck in my way and I tripped over it. So first thing, ayo, we're talking turtles. I was craving some turtles. So I got the punk. I discovered the Holothon Punk Disguised Turtles from NECA. So yeah, I can't wait to open those up.
I know a lot of people will disagree, or maybe they won't, but I think out of all the Holothon stuff, that's my favorite.
Yeah. And again, I was just stumbling, and then came across the Mandalorian Glavis version, which apparently is the best Mando so far, and also the most recent. So it could be a little biased. Then, hello, Marvel Legends, Scarlet Spidey.
Scarlet Spider. Nice.
So came across him, had to get him, obviously.
Great looking figure.
Then on the toy show, whatever funds I made from selling the figures, some of it went towards
money
Mythic
goes
Legions.
In, money goes out. Nice.
Yeah. And I picked up this genie looking dude.
Yeah, he's one of the new ones.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, just his colors. Everything looked. I saw him and I was like, man,
the paint apps, the detail, the cloth goods. Yeah, you really can't beat it with Mythic Legions.
So I was stoked. Now onto the honeymoon phase. So got myself a Dreadnought, the Ripper. So I had to pick them up as part of Target's crazy sale that they were having. And most of the other stuff is from the Target sale. Then I came across a retro Duke. Can't wait to crack him open. Amazon came through with my Metalhead order. Stoked. Hasbro came through with the Action Soldier Infantry. So
that's cool.
Pretty excited to open this one up as well. Then we have some Ross finds back here.
Ooh, $6 each.
Some Cobra Copperheads. I have some plans for these guys. I'm going to try to just change their paint deco. So hopefully that comes out good. Target sale again. Got some Trouble Bubbles. They were 20, $25.
That's cheap. Because there was, normally 45?
They're 40 something. So I got two for the price of one.
Nice. That's a good deal. Yeah, Target's been doing all kinds of sales. The coupons, the $25 off 70 or $20 off 75. I took advantage of that.
Hello, got some Ross
Ooh,
scores.
Ross finds. Oh, that's cool.
Ross finds. Okay. And then
Timber.
ugh, the Hasbro Vamp came in.
Damn. You are Joe'd up. You got Joe in the veins.
Last but not least, I did a trade with Unstoppable HD. Shout out to him. Such a cool dude. We've worked out a couple deals. Got Scrap Iron, and I got Chuckles, which Chuckles has been
Nice.
on my radar for a while.
Yeah.
And man, I'm all joed out right now. All joed out.
Awesome, dude.
Can't
That's a
wait-
great haul, though.
Can't wait to open
We got a
them all
lot
up.
of good stuff to get into.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go into mine.
Ooh.
Talked about this on the live, but I got my Mezco Turtles. Look how big this box is.
Takes up the whole screen.
Yeah, it was on my doorstep. My wife's like, "What is that?"
And she was like, hell
but they
no.
are really fun. They're amazing. I've got them all posed up here. Love them. They're a lot of fun. Did a shot with one of them recently. My buddy Bill English, he hooked me up with the black and gray version of classic Batman, Golden Age Batman.
Yeah,
I wanted to get this to go with those drone custom heads that I've got on order.
I'm excited.
Kind of in a honeymoon phase, probably with Legends, because I don't usually collect Legends.
What?
And I have, I've got the X-Men 97 show to blame. I showed off that I got Cyclops recently, but Red Cap's Corner, if you guys haven't checked out his website, he had Wolverine and Rogue available, and I couldn't pass them up because these are sold out kind of everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
So pretty happy to get these. And then last but not least, I've got Yamaguchi Catwoman with the extra head sculpt.
Gucci Gang in the house.
Gucci Gang. I haven't got a new Gucci in a while, so I'm looking forward to her. Seen some great photos from the community. Doesn't hurt to have a super articulated Catwoman.
Mhm.
So yeah, we've been taking tokens for a while. Definitely didn't take any tokens this week.
Made up for all the whole
But I
month.
will say I'll probably slow down a little bit. I won't be getting anything else for a while now.
Yeah.
Locked up.
I can't say the same. I took advantage of some of Big Bad Toy Stores like daily deals. They had some really good deals.
Yeah, and if Target does another one of those coupons, like the 20 off 75, I may be tempted to go back because that's how I got a couple of those Legends.
Yeah, they had the Retro Apocalypse, the one in the like the toy-based colors, that purple and bluish. It was $25, $24.99, and originally he was like 35, almost $40. So I picked them up, and then a bunch of bikes, Toddy bikes. They were $9.
Nice. I love I got that 66 Batman Toddy bike a long time ago.
Yeah.
I've had it at the toy shows a couple of times because I was like, I'm not using this. I'm going to sell it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't get rid of it though, because I did that shot with it. It was so much fun.
Everyone loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, big thanks to everybody for all your love on that shot. That was a fun one. All right, so going into my dirty tricks for the week. Not really like a toy photo. I guess it is. But I was talking to my friend Warrior Evans recently. I'm sure a lot of you know his work, but if you don't, you've been living on a rock. Please go check out his Instagram because he is an amazing toy photographer. But I was talking about those X-Men Legends, and he gave me some advice, and I've seen other people say this before. Many people have talked about this. But some of the Legends figures and some of the classified figures and Super 7 and you name it, there's a lot of figures that come out glossy. They have kind of like a shine to them. And that can be hard to photograph. So he had suggested to get some flat matte spray. And he gave me a specific brand to go after. So this Mr. Super Clear Flat from Mr. Hobby. Now, this can be a little deceiving because if you, like I went to Hobby Lobby and I thought I found it, but there's a version that's called matte and not flat. And for some reason,
you don't want matte.
It doesn't make any sense. Matte is a little glossy. So if you spray the matte one on there, it's going to have some of that shine again.
What?
But if you get the flat one, it's going to take away the shine from your figure. And I don't have an example because I don't have it yet.
And that's what we want. We want no shine.
Exactly. If you check out Casey's post or Jay's Figs, he's been posting. I think he also sprayed down his Wolverine with some flat spray. Makes a big difference. Takes away a lot of that sheen, a lot of the shine, makes them look a bit more natural. Makes the colors a bit more flat. So if you guys have some figures and you're like, man, I really don't like the gloss, I want to flatten it out, get some of this spray, and it will help with that. And this also helps when you're doing toy photography because glossy stuff tends to reflect light, can really make it shiny and hard to photograph. So if you have a flat matte coloring on your figures, helps. I'm saying flat matte.
Yeah,
if you take some of the
take a shot every
away,
time.
It makes it easier.
It says flat or matte.
Yeah. How many times did I say it? Put it in the comments.
I don't know. I lost count after 10.
But yeah. So definitely you can get this one at megahobby.com. I think they have this on Amazon. It's a bit more pricey. But this is the one you want, the Mr. Super Clear Flat. I'll probably put this in the description just in case anybody has a question about it. So if you do, just look there.
And then give us points.
Yes. Give us credit, please. Last but certainly not least, we're going to do the Figure Aficionado for the week. And I decided to choose a local toy photographer at Toy Relic. Go check him out. He is located in Arizona. And I was recently invited to be part of Phoenix Fan Fusion. They want to do a toy photography panel. And so they've invited me and Toy Relic and another guy who I'll probably feature in the future. But yeah, we're going to do some toy photography
he's a beast.
talk.
I've chatted with Toy Relic a couple times, and he's even commissioned me for a couple like dial pieces, some dial props. The dude takes phenomenal pics, and he's been in the game for a very long time. Yeah,
he's been shooting for a long time. He's got 3,000 posts on his Instagram. That tells you he's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah,
he does a lot of shooting, lots of different. I mean, look at the setups are awesome. He's got tons of different dial pieces that he uses. But yeah, he does a lot of great work. He's pumping out shots. Just shout out to you, man. Big fan of your work. Can't wait to do the panel with you. And I like to support local AZ guys. So please go give him a follow. Go check out his work. He does some great work. So yeah, big shout out to you.
Nice. Awesome.
If you guys are listening and you want somebody featured as a figure aficionado, let us know. We love to get suggestions from the community. We've had them in the past, and we've featured those guys. We want to try to feature more people that you guys are selecting. These are usually picked by either me or Prime. We kind of trade it off. But yeah, let us know if there's somebody that we're not discovering. That's what Figure Aficionado is all about, to try to highlight people that maybe not a lot of people know about, or they want to grow their following, that type of thing. So please, when you guys are hitting the like button and leaving a comment to let us know what your honeymoon phase was, maybe suggest a Figure Aficionado, because we want to hear from you.
You guys got homework. Don't let us down. Show the love in the comments.
Yes. Show the love in the comments. And if you guys aren't subscribed, what are you doing with your life? Make sure to subscribe to the Figure Booth. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live or post a new episode. It means a lot to me and Prime. And we're trying to grow this channel. I know we're getting episodes out here and there, but some growth would be awesome. So if you guys can help us with that, we'd really appreciate it. Prime, anything else you want to say before we end it?
I think that's it. We've made it to the end. There's no end credit scene, but if we made it this far, I appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in and supporting the podcast. We will talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Peace.